Hi guys, hope you guys are doing incredibly well. Yeah, we talk about what happened to the stock market last week. Let's see what's going on. Talk about we're coming to a season of stock market coming down. Let's see whether it's true. Okay. And it's gonna come all the way down like that till the end of whatever that is. Okay. Till probably middle of September, end of September. So you want to write that down by the end of September, by the middle of September, you really, really want to know what is the baby stocks for apprentices to go all in. You want to kind of get ready, do your research right now for a lot of these powerful stocks as we've been preparing for, so that when the time comes, you really want to get in big time. Now that's first part, and yeah, we talk about what's going on with the stock market that we've been doing really, really beautifully as well. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to pull out the pictures. Just gonna share my screen just in a minute. Cool. We'll also talk about what's going on with the stock market right now. Is it gonna go up from now? Is it gonna go down from now? Should we buy now or whatever that is? And and yeah, just gonna send the link through. Yeah. And then that's what's gonna do. We're gonna also talk about what stock to buy and sell. I'm gonna give you some additional baby stocks, usually just for apprentices. We're gonna send it here for you as well. We're trying to find something that is a little bit, outside of AI a little bit. AI is beautiful. AI is gonna do really well, but it's nice to have a balanced portfolio a little bit. Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do at the end of this session. You want to stay to the end because we're gonna give you really powerful stocks as well. We're gonna say it just like that, just like that. So we want to hear every word. So and yeah, good. So let's take a look right now. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna share my screen. Hope you guys are doing beautiful. Cool. So let me just have a look here and really talk about, what is the biggest mistakes and what are not the mistakes that people usually makes as well when it comes to making what is that called? Making some nice funds on trading and investing. Yeah. Cool. Let's me check right now while waiting everyone's to come on board. I think we're gonna start straight away right now. Just like that. Okay, we're gonna almost gonna start straight away right now. What I'm gonna do, I am okay. Cool. Let me just see what else we've got. Just give me 1 minute. I'm just gonna share my screen. Uh, Let me just find where I can share my screen straight away. Anyway, I couldn't find it. Okay, cool. Let's just get straight into what I will be talk about. Uh, Cool. Now let's get straight into it kind of right now. So I'm going to share my beautiful screen right now. Awesome. So that is kind of what happened. We talked about it quite a long time, some time ago. You can see according to our powerful strategy that hardly anyone knows, or even you keep showing this. Yeah, we have to keep showing this. Repetition is a mother, is a father, is a sister of success. Yeah, we're just gonna go through what we're going yeah, really clearly so you can really feel what's gonna happen. So yes, you can see in March time we have got this kind of going on here. Okay, so usually always happen like that. So we have had a March. That's what happened to Iran war. Market was crashing really big time. This is since 1928. Okay, this is a pattern of the stock market. Hardly anyone know this since 1928. Okay, April, May, June, July usually went up really nicely. July there's a turbulence. We saw that turbulence a month ago. If you remember, since 1928. I didn't plot it now. This has been plotted long time ago. Okay, let me show you the turbulent in July. A lot of semiconductors was getting a sell off at that time. So if you see just in July time, yeah, we got a little bit of coming down. If you remember, 14th of July coming down there. Okay. Now we are almost back to where we were, the price now. And we talk about after that, we want to draw a line. Okay, you draw a line. We have a breakout. Can you see a breakout? We saw that breakout, remember? So that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna see that breakout. So do we see that breakout? Let's have a look. So that is where we were, and then you have a resistant line just here. So we have the breakout already. All right, can you see that beautiful breakout? Just breaking out our line there. Okay, what happened after the breakout? Let's see. This is what we are doing right now. So we have a line. Let's do a line one more time. So after a breakout, you will see a pullback. So we are seeing this going down now. You will see a pullback that feels like, oh, are we gonna go up to the moon now? Okay, you will see a really beautiful pullback. So this is all in August time. Okay, August, September time. So you see a pullback really beautifully before a beautiful downturn happen like that. Okay, so you will see a zigzag pullback. That means, oh, today market is coming down. Oh, tomorrow it went up another 2% again. And then at the end of the day, it's all finished. And then, oh, before the market's open, market's up again. By the end of the day, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the UK time, everything finishes again. So you see a zigzag situation like that, going up and down like that. Okay. That's why you're gonna see most likely for September time, August, end of August and September. That's most likely what you're gonna see before we have a really, really nice life-changing situation reaching the extreme fear at the end. Okay. For those who are late, this is the most important lesson at the beginning of the lesson. If you missed it, unfortunately, you actually just missed it. Anyway, just joking. So yeah, so that's what happened. And yeah, so yeah, so that's what happened. So just repeat back. So we just talk about, the Iran war kind of happened just right here. We have seen every year in March it happened like that. And then we have a going up really beautifully, just telling you what to expect in September. Now, in terms of your portfolio, what is it gonna look like? It's not gonna be a doomsday like a rocket like that. Let's see a rocket like that. No, you're gonna see a teeth of coming down. Market crash. Oh, he's right. And then suddenly you be like, oh, why is it pulling back? Oh, should I buy now? Oh, could be like, oh. And you'll be like, oh, market went up another 10%, went down 10%, went up another 10%. That's what happened. You went down 10% tomorrow, it went up another 10%. That's how market looks like. But it's gonna be probably went down like, I don't know, your stock went down 10%, and tomorrow it went out another 5%. And then next day it went out another 10%, and then it went out another that went up another 5%. That's how it's gonna look like. Okay, a zigzag situation. Yeah. So they will be like, oh, should I add more position? So most people, what they will have done, they will be like, oh, it's positive 5 now. Let's add position right at the top, and then tomorrow is down. They will be like, oh, why do I add just at the top? And then another 10% will be like, oh, let me just add more position there. Or like, why do I just add positions there? And it went out down again. You'll be like, what's happening here? So it's just really going crazy. So this is why we are not really going via emotion. We don't look at how much the prices moved today. Oh, you went down 5%, went up 10%. No, just remember, write that down. Today green, tomorrow is gonna be red. Tomorrow red, the day after tomorrow is gonna be green. So you don't really want to, you remember it's gonna be zigzag already. So you don't really want to get on just right at the top of the zigzag, and then we'll be like, what is just what what's happening there? Yeah, it's gonna be quite tricky then. Okay, so just to be really clear, so that you know what to expect and stuff like that. So that means that at this moment in time, we're not gonna like go all in big time. We're still gonna recommend some stocks at the end. We're not gonna go all in big time. But even though we went in, you have to mentally prepare that it will come down. Okay, you mentally prepare it's gonna come down. So what about the positions that you already got? A lot of people already, be with me for quite some time. You got in during one extreme fear, during the last extreme fear, whatever that is. We have a temporarily extreme fear in July. If you look at it, that's very tiny extreme fear in July. There's some volume spike there going on. It's not a huge one. So that we already at the same like let's have a look. So you see, if you look at going down, and then there's a volume spike just there. Just this is a little bit of volume spike. If you look in our website, let's look ben.co.uk, and you just click on that. Beautiful website, really arranged really nicely for our students. So you can see um we are on, yeah, we are on neutral and grid now. Okay. It will be really lovely. Will be really lovely to go to extreme grid. So that means a lot more to fall before it goes to extreme field time. Yeah. So we are just around there. So if you look at there earlier really nicely, the last time we've got extreme field, we're just in April time. And then we touch on there really quickly, just a very, very small touch, just around 25. So some people added some positions. If you use a calculator, if you remember, we gave you a calculator. Yeah, just on last of your training on the apprenticeship or the end of your training, you should get a bonus calculator here. Just put it on. You can June 26, a little bit of a bottom there. And yeah, but if you use your calculator, you should get. Now the calculator, we have four levels from the calculator at the end of your training. Four level of the really powerful calculator. I wish I could have gotten this calculator when I first started like 20 years ago. Really powerful stuff. So because that really removes your emotion out of the game. So once your first calculator get triggered, the aim is to have both. So that means your first calculator get triggered, you're going to be panicked. Second, you're still going to be panicked. Third, you're still going to be panicked. Fourth, you're going to be panicked. But the key is once you don't really want to look at it anymore once you got it on because your calculator is going to be like tick, 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 tick like that. Because when the price went down more, your calculator is just going to get triggered a little bit more. Yeah. So a lot of people, the first level got triggers, second level got triggers as well, which is nice. And I would tell you about how to use a calculator one more time. Okay. And and how do you calculate? How do you put pending orders for the stocks that you really want to get in? Okay, I'm going to show you here as well. And how do you take profits as well? Okay, I think that's really important stuff to talk about. Okay, just remind me to talk about that as well. Okay, how do you take profit on your stocks? Okay, and yeah, like as you talk about to get really good at trading and investing. Once you learn many things, it's about when to buy. Okay, you want to know kind of like when to buy. All right. We taught you a little bit on when to buy. Okay, for apprentices, we go into really detail for you. But for VIP, we also talk about it quite a lot. And the, number two is about what to buy. We talk about finding stocks with a really high guidance growth. Okay, for apprentices, we give you our exact we give you a screener. And number three is about when to sell. That's probably the most difficult part. You don't really need to know this, but we're going to talk about when to sell a little bit just here. Okay. Once you know these three, wow, life gets really easy. Okay. So we'll talk about that later on as well. So that's kind of what happened here. So right now we are just there waiting for it to kind of come back down before anything happens. So if you look at our stock right now, how is it looking like? Okay. Ever since we talk about like if you look at our recording and stuff like that, we talk about, since almost end of August, which is we are just right here. Yeah, almost end of August here. How's that? Let's look. Since end of August here. Yep, end of August here, you can see the date just at the bottom. It's very difficult to see. You can see 14th of August, we are expecting a downturn. Okay, all the way to our breakout point. Okay, you see a downturn all the way to our resistance line, which is very similar to what we are seeing here. All right, so it went up really nicely, and then we are just there. And so, which is what we are seeing it there. Okay, it's been coming down. Can you see August time? Yeah, around August time. So it's coming down. So it's been really following our script, our strategy that hardly anyone knows. Okay, it's been following our script just then. Where's September? This is August. This is September. But anyway, so this is December. December, I presume, is here. November, I presume, is kind of there. October is kind of there. That's September. Where's January? January is here. So January, just write on that word. Okay, just write on that word. Just write on that word there. Okay, so we are seeing a downturn kind of going on here. So we are waiting for that pullback. Okay, waiting for that pullback before it kind of come down really beautifully. Yeah. Some people are always asking me about the bond, what's going on with the bond yield, bond prices. Okay, let me tell you something about the bond prices real quick. This is really something outside of the topic, but it's nice to know. So basically, because we've been borrowing a lot of money in, all the countries in the world borrow money. Okay, the only countries that is not borrowing money is probably just Switzerland. So this right now, they are not really growing. But people who wants to grow, the countries that are really growing, GDP the highest, they all borrow money. So whether it's the UK, whether it's whatever countries like China, US, we're all borrowing money big time. So because they are all borrowing money big time, you will see that because when people are borrowing a lot of money big time, so that means that the yield has actually been going higher and higher. Yield is the opposite of the bond. So let me show you the bond prices. Okay, this one. U is an opposite of the bond prices. All right, U is opposite of the bond. So that means that when people are borrowing money high, okay, so let's say the US dollar now has a lot of debt, so they pay their debt through the US dollar interest rate, okay, because that depends on the interest rate, like your mortgage rate. Okay, they have lots of debts. So what they're gonna do, the Besson literally just came out a few days ago say, you know what, we're gonna buy back our bond. And when you buy back your bond, the yield is gonna come down a little bit. Okay, the yield is gonna come down a little bit. So when you buy back your bond, so when the interest goes down, that just means that normally the US dollar will go down. Okay, usually the US dollar will go down. So that is usually kind of what happened during this situation. The US dollar was coming down, and the power of dollar getting smaller and smaller. And then when the power of dollar getting smaller and smaller, and yeah, so more people are borrowing some money and stuff like that. So it drives inflation. And when you drive inflation, all of that things all coming back. When you drive inflation, we have to increase the interest rate. And when you raise the interest rate, it just go round in circle again. So what's the point? The point here is that it's just that our treasury bond right now, our 20-year treasury bond right now is literally at the lowest point that you have ever seen in your entire lifetime. Okay? That you have ever seen in your entire lifetime. It's probably the lowest you have ever seen. Now, treasury yield don't actually move so much. Okay, they don't actually. So one of these things that actually move a lot. So let's pretend if we buy treasury yield right now, you can buy it on your trading 212 account, on your IBKR account. You just type 20-year treasury yield because it's the lowest point it's ever got, and because we're trying to. If the lowest point is so low, that means the yield is very high. Let me show you. Treasury yield. Okay, you have to know that they are inversely proportional to one another. Okay, these are just outside of topic, but since people are asking on the chat box, I'm just gonna explain this a little bit. Okay, you can see our yield, our interest rate. Not the kind of yield, it's not really interest rate, but just to make it easier to understand. That's what happens. So if you look at the yield, it's gonna be all-time high. Okay, let me just share you a little bit just then. And this happen all the time, actually. It's nothing to worry about. And we have been talking about, since many, many years, government has been having debt forever. And it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. I don't think so it's a big problem because we haven't had this problem. We talk about this for 30 years and they're still borrowing money and they never stop borrowing money because if they stop borrowing, they stop growing. Smart people, they just keep borrowing money. So it's just there. So, the yield, can you see we're almost at all-time high? Yield keep getting higher and higher, 4.7, 4.6, keep going higher and higher. So when they buy back their bonds, normally yield will come down a little bit. Okay. That's fine. Let it come down, but usually just keep going higher and higher and higher and higher like that. So the dollar, the power of your currency, pound sterling, whatever that is, just keep smaller and smaller because the government keep buying, printing money, if you want to call it for lack of a better word, or they just buy back their bonds. Okay, so with that, the dollar just keep becoming lower and lower. And how is it going to affect you? How is it going to affect you as a stock market trader and investor? The reality is it doesn't. Yes, it doesn't. A lot of people say, oh, it's going to cause a crash. No, this is it. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Yeah, listen very carefully. So when the yield keeps going higher and higher, okay, because the rate keeps going higher and higher and stuff like that. So normally they will buy back their bonds. So the bond prices usually they want the bond prices to go down. And when the bond prices go down, when the yield goes down, when they buy back that bond, when the yield goes down, what happened? Yield goes down, That means interest rate is cheap now. You can borrow money now. And when you borrow money, what happens? People start buying stuff, It drives the stock price up. It drives the inflation up. Okay. When it drives the inflation up, what happened? Our Fed is going to come in again and do the interest rate. You know what? Let's raise the interest rate a little bit. And when you raise the interest rate, what's going to happen? The whole repeat the cycle again, then people stop borrowing money and all of that. So we have been having this cycle for 50 years. So there's nothing really, really interesting to talk about. So the more interesting to talk about is, can we buy this bond now? Okay. Now I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to make big life-changing money doing bond. But buying bond have some few advantage. First, you get 5% dividend, like interest rate, because the yield is 5%, 4.6%. So you get that 5%, the first part. Second is that, yes, this is going to go up. Let me see how much money you're going to make if it goes up. Now it's 8.3. Let's pretend it's not going to go up big time. It's not going to go up big time. Maximum is probably like go up like here. Okay. 8.7. So 8.7 minus 83 is around 4. 4 divided by 83. How much is that? 4 divided by 83. It's probably going to be like 5%. So 10%. So that's okay. That's okay for everything. Things kind of going on at the moment. 0.96. So yeah, that's okay. It's not the best, not the worst. S&P 500 was up 0.22% today. Okay. The rest was just stuck there. Okay, cool. Today, yeah, could be an okay day. So if you're okay with that, at the end of this lesson, we can talk about, okay, let's buy a little bit of this. It's not like, it's not too bad. We can do a little bit of this as well alongside with other things. So that's what happened then. And is it possible for this to come up to all-time high? No, unfortunately, absolutely not. It will, but it's just going to take a long time. Our money is going to start there. So you might as well not let the money start there. We're going to buy that, okay? For apprentices, we're going to buy that all the way to like 8.7 a little bit there, 8.6. And then we just call it the day, really. Okay, we call it the day. We take our money out, we put into our powerful stocks. And when we get into some powerful stocks, we just make even more like that. Okay, while waiting for the market to come down and crash a little bit. Let's look at the season of this guy. Let's go to equity clock or my website, you can look at our season of that. Let's see how this treasury bond season, treasury bond, just to see how it's gonna look like. Okay, hardly anyone knows this. So for the 10-year, so we talk about, August end is going to do well, and then it's going to do bad September and October. So, but let's see if the government's going to do anything. So August is going to do really well, just here. And then when the stocks do bad, these do bad. So they do together with the stock market. So let's look at last year in August, what's going to happen if we buy in August last year, which is where we are now. So August last year was just okay, and then like that. Okay, let's go another year. Just August, just then, yeah, it's coming down a little bit, and then went up till September. We're gonna get out in mid of September-ish. Let's go another year. I'm showing you back testing now, a strategy that hardly anyone knows. We're just going to see what it's going to look like in the past 5 years, exactly the same time. So you mentally prepare what it's going to look like. August up there, and then came back down. So that's okay. Not the worst, not the best, but we will do a little bit here at the end as well. Okay, just add a little bit there so that it can go all the way up there. Just doing it a little bit there. Okay. So that is just to answer some people's question about that. Cool. Let's have a look. Can we talk about? All right, let's talk about how to exit positions. Okay, we talked about last week. I want to talk about it again. Okay, let's talk about how to exit positions. Stock, when to sell a stock. All right, we talk about when to buy, when to. So let's talk about when to sell a stock. This is a very high level way. There's many complicated way you can do. But today, I'm going to show you a really powerful way. Usually, we just show you apprentices. I'm going to show you a powerful way. Before you enter a stock, you always know where it's going to go. Okay, where is it going to go before you enter the stock? So yeah, because the dollar is getting weaker, just going back. So you can see crypto has been going higher. Okay, crypto has been rebounding. Gold has been rebounding a little bit. If you ask me, Raven, I want to buy gold. What price? 4,000. The support line 4,000 is an okay to buy gold. 10% on gold is not the end of the world. When can I buy crypto? 10% on crypto at around below 65K. It's not the end of the world as well. Okay, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so write it down at what I just told you just now. Now, what I'm gonna do, I am gonna talk about when do you sell a stock. Okay, we can give you a lot of examples, but I'm going to give you this example first. Okay, this is quite powerful examples. So you can do anything, give me any stock, I can tell you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do exactly the same what we've got before. So what I'm going to do, just give me a minute, we're going to use our AI. Okay, we have a new AI tool for apprentices called Ask Raven AI. Okay, it's called a welcome Ask Raven AI, quite powerful. We just configured this just to this. Okay, so we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna give me the past, 6 most recent earning guidance of AEHR. Okay, so for example, let's say you are on a, you just found a stock. Okay, you go to market screener, week 4 training. You go to market screener one by one. You filter. Okay, I found a stock. Okay, I found some stock on market screener, and you're gonna be like, okay, I buy it now. When can I exit? This is the biggest question we all have. When can I exit? Obviously, usually when you see a volume spike, you can exit. But today I'm going to teach you how to exit a stock. Okay, it's not the most. The reality is we don't really need to exit it, but it's nice to learn how to exit it. But unless it's really big amount, then you can exit it. But if it's just very small amount, that's absolutely fine. So let me show you. Let's say 14 of 14. Okay, would you buy or would you sell? Just tell me right now. Would you buy or would you sell on the 14 of whatever day, July? So you look at it. So before was 25, and then it was 25, and suddenly we have a 5 times increase on the money. So it was a good buy on the 14th because it times 5. Okay, so that's revenue. And what about the EPS? Let's look at the EPS. So what is this? Net income was 18. No, huge step revenue growth. Yep, imply 160 to 200 revenue growth. Okay, let me just really write it down clearly so you can give me. So what I'm going to type here, I'm going to type, give me the earning guidance outlook EPS of AEHR. Okay, because a lot of people, they bought some stock, they'll be like, okay, when should I freaking sell? I'm going to tell you something, almost no one in the world is going to teach you how to sell. It's probably one of the most difficult thing to do. Okay, but I'm going to show you how to sell it. Okay, and after back testing, after doing so many things, and quite a powerful thing. So let's have a look. So revenue expect year over year. Let me have a look here. EPS. No explicit net income of 20% of revenue. What is this? Let me just give me a minute. Let me just see. Extremely strong year over year. All right, let's do another one. We'll come back to this. Give me the past, let's say 5 most recent earning guidance of, let's do Micron. Okay, let's do Micron. That someone gives a little easier numbers, because on here, what is it saying? Non-GAAP 18% of the revenue. So 20% of this revenue would just be 20 EPS. No explicit EPS. We kind of need the explicit EPS. Extremely strong revenue expected to be 100 and 200 year over year. So they have a growth of 200% year over year. 200% year over year. Anyway, so let's take what they say. Let's do this first. So what I'm going to do, usually we want the EPS. Okay, now I'm going to give you the formula first. Okay, the formula is this. I'm going to give you an easy formula. There's a lot of complicated formula you can use, but I'm going to give you an easy formula. How do you know where's the price of the stock that you want to go? Okay, you ask yourself, what's the price of the stock you want to go? Divide by earnings. Remember, PE is price divided by earning. Earning is your EPS. Earning is your net income. Write it down. Top is the price, bottom is the earning. E is earning. Earning can be your EBITDA, can be your net income, can be your EPS. The last thing that we take is kind of like a revenue. Okay, that's like kind of the last thing that we take. So if you want to know what the price of your stock is going to be, So what do you do? And the easy way, pretend the PE stays the same. Obviously, the PE is going to change, depends on how the market goes. If the market is still undervalued, the PE of SP 500 is still okay. Pretend if they don't move, usually PE will go higher, will go lower. But pretend we don't know what the PE is going to be. PE stays the same. So it depends on how much the earnings is going to grow. Then that's where your price is going to be. Okay. I repeat, where your price is going to be depends on how much your earnings is going to grow. So in here, it says quite clearly that extremely strong revenue growth, revenue expect to grow between 160% to 200% year over year. So that means that if my price on here, July 14 is 100, okay, is 100. Okay, my EPS is 100. So if I'm expecting a 200% year over year growth, I will expect my price to go to 200. So that will be your first target. Okay, and if my price on the July 14 is around, I don't know, 70, you will expect that times 200. You will expect that it's a range of numbers. There's no specific number, it's a range of numbers. You will expect it goes to around 140%. So that will be the price where you take your profit, you put your target profit, you'll be like, okay, when it's above this level, I could take some profit out. So for example, or you can, so that could be one option. So for example, if I go to the stop price right now, if you see, just to show you, I'm going to give you a more example because this requires a lot more examples for you to understand properly. Right? I keep repeating it. Repeating is a mother of skill set. So if you see the last time we've got here is around on the 14, you look at the bottom, the 14, when the price got released, would just be around 8. Let's look. It's just here. Okay, it's around 7. Okay, actually, it's around 7. 14 edge. Actually, 14 is the bottom. So when the price got released, before anyone say anything, it's around 7. Can you see around 7284? 7284. So we are thinking that it's gonna double. If it is double, 160% as well. So thinking that that's gonna happen. So because of that, what we do, let's look. So we'd be like, okay, if the entry is 14th of July, why 14? Because that's where the earning release happened. You'll be like, okay, where will be my target? It's a 200% year over year. So it's coming to a new year. Last time April was around there. And then the new year, 200% growth or 160% growth. So 70. So 73 times 200%, how much is that? You times 2. So it'll be around 140. Okay, you'll just be around 140. So if it comes from here to 140, you'll be like, okay, that will be kind of my target profits. Okay, we talked about it many weeks ago, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, even when we first bought, we kind of already talked about it. Okay, I'll give you another one. I'll give you Micron again. Okay, really powerful stuff. Lots of our students own this. Okay, lots of our students own this. They make some money. If you make money on this, start a chat box if you make some money on this, so that I can give you another powerful stock that do exactly like that. Because we were doing exactly the same thing, just going through one by one there. Okay. Now, what if you already own it and you haven't sold it yet? That's fine. That's fine. Because the value of that stock is so high, it will go back up again. Okay. It will go back up again. When is it going to go back up? When our season say yes. When our historical pattern say yes. Okay. So some people making profits on that. Okay. Just like the chat box, take profit if you make some profit. So I can tell you when to sell. Okay. Tell the chat box say profit so I can tell you when to sell. Awesome. Cool. So let's look. Yeah, awesome. So Patrick was on it. Patrick, well done. Vishal was on it. East Brown, yes, Anna was on it. Really good. Yeah, powerful stuff. Lots of students on it. So we're gonna give you another one, at the end of this session today. So if you're on it already, that's fine. Just leave it. If you haven't sold at 140, that's fine. Just leave it. Okay. So a good entry again is when you come back to I say around this level. Okay, this level, just around 7. Okay, now I want to talk about something. People often ask me, where should I put my baby stocks pending order? I want to write it down. The first pending order that I want you to put is the previous spike in volume. So if you look at this, okay, if I want to enter this trade again, this is one of your baby stocks, okay? And if you want to enter this trade again, you want to look at the previous volume spike. So the previous volume spike is around 15th of July, okay, because of the earnings, okay, 15th of July. So you can either choose the one at the top or just just a range of numbers here. So I will usually go for just 7. It's a range of numbers. You don't really have to be precise. It can even be 7, 9, 8. But I personally, because of how the season look like, I want to get in by end of September, etc. So I would say just around 7.2. Okay, just there, 7.2, 7.3. Yeah, just write it down. Put a pending order, 7.2 is good. Okay, if you use a calculator that we show you, you're also going to do the same thing. So I'm going to show you the calculator because most people don't know how to use a calculator. We have a really powerful financial freedom calculator. Just at the end of your session, you're going to get it later. Apprentices, you're going to get it straight away. So, like for example, they ask you what's the name of the company, AEHR. Okay, I'm just going to show you properly. And they ask you what's the highest point to measure from. And because of the situation right now, we're gonna highest point measuring from 2 weeks from now. Okay, like within the 2 weeks. Okay, from 2 weeks. It can be from 1 month, 2 months. It doesn't really matter. Depends on how big your stomach is. So amount dedicated, let's say just £100. Highest point to measure from now. The highest point, and for this, it could be, let's say. So this is really high like that. Okay. It's just the highest point 1.4. Okay, the highest point for this could be just 1.4, 140. So it's telling you that the first entry for this stock is at 100. That's fine. 100 is not the worst situation. 88, that's also good as well. 72, that would be nice. So I will personally do 88 and 72. Okay, 100 is fine as well. If you go in already, really, really well done. You're just going to be having a big stomach so that, for a few days, it's just going to go nowhere for a bit, but eventually it's going to come back here. Okay, so that's what happened. The last one is a 53. Let me see where it's 53. Yeah, so if you ask me, where would you get in? First, I look at the volume spike just there. So that is okay. If you go in the 100, then things like that, it's not the worst situation. And the next entry will literally just be, the volume spike. The next entry will be your July low. The lowest point that you've got in July, just when we have the last extreme here. That could be your last entry, okay? Next pending order. So I'm going to show you how to put a pending order. So I'm going to put everything together, all right? This is just for apprentices so you can get ready to know how do you buy your stock. Let's do another one. Let's say you get into Micron. We're talking about Micron just now, potentially. So let's see. So for example, Micron, you will be like, how do we do the calculation? So you do the same thing. In June 24th, all right, on June 24th, what you are going to do, like for example, what I'm going to do is, let's not do June 24th, let's choose June 18th first, okay? So how do you calculate target profits? So first, you look at how much is the increase in the EPS guidance. EPS come first, and then you go to revenue. If you don't have anything, you go to gross margin, okay? And then you go to the rest. So EPS come first because P equals to the P divided by E. So you want to see how much the earning growth. 8 to 19, how much is that? How do? You use a new number minus the old number divided by the old number. And how much is that? So we have a look. New number is 19 minus 8. Repetition is everything, yeah? So we're doing repetition is a mastery of skill set. 11 divided by 8 is around 130%. Okay, 130%. That's a growth from 8 to 19. Okay, 8 to 19. And don't worry if you don't get it. This is a little bit too advanced, but that's fine. This is like the later on the training. Okay, so don't worry. So for apprentices, we go into a little bit more detail. Like draw a little bit of numbers. But it's simple. Like when you do 5 of them, you'll be like, oh wow, this is so easy. It's like you're driving car again. You can even do makeup when you're driving the car. Because it gets easier afterwards. So you look at how much growth is the earning, okay? The earning from the previous one to this one. So that means whatever price that you have in March, let's say the March price was, so what do? Look at the price of March, okay? Go back to Micron, look at the price of March in Micron. Let's look. Micron would just be here. And where are we? March 18, isn't it? So March 18, yeah, which is at the top price here. Okay, March 18, the Micron was around, you can see the price is 462. So the price of Micron is 462. So the question is how much is going to go to? You'll be like, okay, if I buy at 462, when do I take my profit? That's the biggest questions we all got. Oh, where do I take my profit, man? It's 462. Okay, I bought it here. Okay, I bought it already. And what do I do next? Isn't it? If you don't have a target profit, this is what is going to happen. You'll be like, oh, I make money today. Should I take the money out? Oh, I make £1 today. Should I take the money out? If I make £3 today, should I take the money out? You'll be like, you never know. And at the end of the day, you ended up cutting profit really, really short. Okay. Wow. A lot of some of the best traders and investors, they don't even cut it. They don't even sell it. They just hold it till the earnings, the numbers of the guidance change. Okay. If the guidance is bad, then they get out. But let's talk about it. 462. So you'll be like, okay, how much is the profit? So you do what we told you. So pretend the PE stays the same. Okay. That's our assumption. So we want to know how much the price is going to be. So we know that the earnings increased by 130%. What's that mean? Because from December to March, the earnings, the guidance, the earnings increased by 130%. 8 to 19 is 130. Or how do you get a number? I use new minus O divided by O. Okay, so I get 130%. Can you see I'm repeating? So what you got now is 462. The price right there when you buy is 462. So what do? You go to the calculator, you put a pending order on the calculator, you get on that. So once you put a calculator, you go on it, okay, using our financial freedom calculator for apprentices. So 462, what do? You times 130. That's your price. How do you do it? So you do 462. You can use our Ask Raven AI. We provide for apprentices, or you can go to 462 times 1.3. The answer is 600. Is it 600? Let's have a look. 462 times 1.3, 133. Sorry, 462 times, because it's 133%, isn't it? So it's like times. So we're gonna ask AI on this. So ask ChatGPT, ask our Raven AI. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna price now is 462. Okay, if it increase 130%, what price would it be at? Let's have a look. So the price will just be at, so look, it's coming. It's 1062. You're absolutely right. So that means that you will kind of get out from Micron at the price at what we are talking here, which is 106. Why? Because it's times 2.3. Yeah, because it's double, isn't it? So it's times 2.3 instead of 1.3. Makes sense. And then the answer is 1062. Okay, so that's it. So that means that when you bought it here, let me tell you let me give you the emotion here. Let me give you some magic and some emotion. Yeah, you can do any stock. So for example, we go in here, we use our pending orders, you wait for an extreme field, whatever that is. So you go in here, so you mentally see the markets went down. What's going on? Okay, you mentally see the markets okay, you mentally see the markets. Oh my God. You mentally see, holy moly. You mentally see, you're like, okay, you use a calculator. Calculator is going to be like, okay, you put some pending orders here, you put some pending orders here. So you go into the stock, you'll be like, okay, once I go in, wow, it's red. I'm scared. Remember, when you first have a baby, it's going to be red. It's going to be scared because you can't sleep. When you first have a job, you're going to get paid for 30 days. When you first have, you first do anything in life, you always see negative first. So you'll be like, oh, wow, it's negative. I'm really scared. You'll be like, oh, should I sell? Should I just sell this because it's negative? I'm scared. My stomach is painful now. So you'll be like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. And then we'll be like, wow, it's keep going down because you got in already. Remember? I'm talking about 18th of March when the earning release happened. Okay? Earning release happened. You look at, oh, it's 10, 12, 18, and then 33, double. So that's what you do. You get in using the calculator. So you will go in even lower than the price there. You go in at the low price because the calculator. So you'll be like, oh, I'm really scared. What's going on here? So you'll be like, oh, okay, now I break even now. Should I just pull out? Should I just call it the day? Because now I finally break even. Because before that, you will dread for a very long time. You'll be like, oh, wow, red. Finally, I break even. I make myself money now. Should I pull out? You'll be like, oh, should I sell? This is how normal traders who are not in my training, how they're going to fail. Okay, when we don't teach them this strategy. But now I'm teaching you this strategy to make your life a lot easier. So you'll be like, okay, but you remember we calculated the true value of this stock because the earnings increased by 130%. This stock price needs to increase by 130%, which is what? It used to be 4.6. It has to go to what price? Let's have a look. It has to go to 1062. So you'll be like, okay, I'm gonna stick to my strategy. I'm gonna take a leap of faith. I'm gonna like be very brave like that. I'm gonna be very brave. It's like, oh, I'm gonna be really brave like that. It's like, oh, it's not break even now. Should I get out? Should I get out? I'm gonna be really brave. I'm gonna be, oh, that makes some money now. Should I just get out? Should I just get out? I'm really scared. Today you argue with some people, argue with your wife, argue with your spouse. Kids was very naughty. You're like, should I get out? Should I get out? You're like, should I give up? Should I give up? So you're like, oh, should I give up? It's making some money. You're making some money. You're making 10%, 20%. Is it enough now? You'll be like, enough now. But we're teaching you the strategy when to get out. You're like, what's going on? Okay, 70 now. Wow, this is really good. It's really enough now. Remember, we are taking profit at 10 something. So you'll be like, is it enough now? Is it enough now? Should I take my profit? Should I take a profit? You can't stand it. You can't stand it. You're like, what's going on? What's going on? But you stick with our strategy. Our strategy say 1062 using our calculation strategy. You're like, what's going on? What's going on? And what's happening? So we had 80 now. You'll be like, coming down, you're like, oh, holy, I should have sold it before. Okay, you should like, oh, I should have sold it because you came back down. You're like, I should have sold it. I'm regretting I didn't sell it. But you stick with the strategy, stick with our powerful apprenticeship strategy. So we're like, it's coming down. I should have sold it. It's coming down. It's more red now. You'll be like, I should have sold it. It's coming back down. Finally coming back. Oh, thank God I didn't sell. You'll be like, they're coming down. You'll be like, okay, should I sell now? You'll be like, this candle. Look, this is a candle, guys. You're like, should I sell now? Should I sell now? I'm not breaking even now. Now I'll come back to where I am. You be like, but you stick with our strategy. You stick with our strategy. Don't you be like, wow, massive candle in. You be like, should I sell now? The emotion is really emotion that is going crazy because you start overthink things. Things are very emotional, and this is a true feelings how people are actually feeling. Okay, true feeling. We've been doing it for 20 years. That's how people feel. So 93 now, you'll be like, I haven't reached my target. Our target is 1093. It's 93 now. You'll be like, should I sell? Should I sell? You'll be like, I'm scared. Should I pull out? I'm really scared. I'm panicking. Yeah, is it enough now? What if it comes down? I don't want to lose my money. All of that. You think about all of this nonsense, but you remember, you never give up. You take a leap of faith. You don't give up on this beautiful situation because you learn a powerful strategy. You're like, you're like, finally, we not there yet. 10 what? Let me look. 1062. So not there yet. So 1062 would just be around that. You'll be like, should I 100 now? I'm really happy. I'm around 100 now. I'm really happy. 100. Finally, you reach there. And most people would have sold it here. They are panicked here. Let me give up. Some people sold it at a loss because Iran war happened. You'd be like, let me call it the day. But people who really, really follow a powerful trading strategy, they continue to go through that. And then before the markets come back down a little bit there. Don't worry about, it continue to go up, continue to comes down. No, it's still exactly the same as where we were. So that's how you calculate. That's how you calculate. Is it quite powerful? Do you think what I show you is just powerful? If you think it's quite powerful, type the chat box, then you say powerful. So you can really, really use this every time you get into a stock. So you really, really memorize this big time. If you think what I just told you that is really real and it's really powerful, you really get into my mind. You really, really, that's really, really how I feel. Type the chat box here and say powerful. Wow. So yeah, so I was saying powerful, which I was saying powerful, I wouldn't say powerful. Yeah, Patrick was saying really powerful. And a lot is really powerful. You're absolutely right. And I can do this for all of the stocks, and that's exactly how you are gonna feel. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do a little quicker. So you can just start in the chat box any stock you want us to look at so I can calculate how much the target profit. Or what if you haven't sold? That's fine. We know that's a true value of the stock. That's a true value of the stock. It's normally it will touches it there, it will come back down before it go back up again. Okay, every time it refreshes, we're just going to refresh it one more time. Okay, so that's because that's a true value of the stock. Okay, so if I can do on any stocks, okay, and it will be quite, it will be just like that, and it will be quite similar because that's kind of the true value of a stock. Okay. What if it continually comes down? How many could go up? That's fine. Another way how we do it is we usually wait for, if it already went up big time and stuff like that, we either wait for before the next earning release. Before the earning release is on the like 25th, I think. Okay, that's kind of the earning release date. Okay, so when you see things are very overvalued and earning release is coming out, when you see the numbers are not so good, you still have chance to run a little bit. Okay, you still have a chance to kind of run if the numbers is not so good. But if the numbers is good, you do it again. So let's say you got in here, the numbers is good, you put a pending orders on your calculator again, and you do the same thing. Okay, so what do you mean? So you do the same thing. So if the price when it comes out is around 10, that means that the true value of this can go to 1.5. Eventually, it will go to 1.5. Okay, so that is kind of what happened. Yeah, let's do another one. Western Digital, we have lots of things. We can do NVIDIA and all of that. So if I do things like, yeah, I can do it like just anything, like just do Western Digital, just for example. So people that were in the chat box. So give me the past 5 most, give me the past 5 most recent earning guidance outlook of Western Digital, something like that. Let's see. Okay, just yeah. So just to show you how kind of it works. So you kind of repetition is kind of like, you know, many things kind of together as well. There are some exceptions, obviously, where stocks is like, you know, taking his time, you know, not do, you know, taking his time and doing whatever that is. But yeah, but let's have a look. If we're gonna do Western Digital a bit, I'm just gonna show you exactly how it works. So you do the same thing here, okay? This is, look at it. So you ask yourself, are you gonna buy, okay? You ask yourself April 3rd, will you buy? How do you know? Look at the numbers, okay? EPS first, all right? So 1.5, 1.88, 2.3, 3.25. So you ask yourself, is it huge? You know, Q3 to Q3, you know, is it huge? So you'll be like, okay, it match our baby stocks criteria. It looks nice. So you want to buy on April 30th. Do you buy straight away? Well, you can look at the season if you should buy straight away or not. So that's the first step. Second, you can put the pending, use a calculator to get on there. So it says strong acceleration, one of the best that we ever seen the past 3 quarters. So you go in there. So you go in there, you'll be like, okay, when do I take my profit? Okay, when do I take my profit? You do the same thing. What do? You calculate how much is the increase on the earnings before the next one. 3 months, 3 months. So you do the same thing. So what you do, you use the new number minus the old number. 3.25. Repetition is a secret to mastery. Yeah, 0.895. Okay, 0.95 divided by 2.3 is around what, 40%? 40% growth potentially. Yeah, if I'm calculating correctly. Okay, 40%. Is it 40%? Let me calculate properly. 3.2, 2.3, potentially. Let's have a look. 2.3 times 1.4. Yep, it's around 40% growth. Okay, if you're not sure, you can use Raven AI for the active newly joined apprentice we're going to give you. So what do you do? So you look at the price in April. What's the price in April? Okay, and you take it from there. So let me just have a look. Now, look. Usually, okay, we are simplifying things here, okay, because the gross margin was increasingly big times as well. So that means that, you know, that means that any profits that you kind of make, you know, you kind of happy as well because you got them. Okay, you're kind of happy because you got them. Okay, there are 3 levels to sell a stock. Okay, first you wait for the earnings. You wait the next earning coming in. If is it going up, is it coming down? The second, you really calculate kind of where it's gonna go to using what we show you here, 40%. So what you're trying to say is look at the price on April 40, and you take it from there. So you ask, what's the price of this Western Digital on April 40, April 30th, 2026. So let's have a look. You do the same thing. The price was, what is it? So at that time, when you buy, it's around, let's make it easier. Yeah, it's around 438, for example. Okay, but you will not get in straight away. You will use a calculator to get in. If this good April 30th, every day you look at the guidance, is good. You do the calculator straight away. Okay, so once you've done that, what do? You calculate, you bought in already. Let's see how much you're going to get out. So 438, you times 40% there. So that's how much you're going to be. 438, you times 1.4, which would be 613. So you put it, you expect in 3 months' time, it can be lower. It can be in 2 weeks' time. It will get to around 6. Let me see, 6 what? 613. Okay, you will get to around 613 just there. So That's kind of what happened. So let's say you get into 438, and then in 3 months, you're going to get, like, it can be in 2 weeks, by the way. If it hit already, then you call it the day, unless it's very, very low, you call it the day and you wait for the next earning. You do the same thing on the next earning again. Okay. So that is kind of happen. Pretend the PE, everything stays the same. So what you do the same. April, you go in 438 and you wait for the next time. So let's have a look. Yeah, there are a few ways, but I'm just showing you one of the ways. So let's have a look. If it reach too fast, we're gonna be like a little bit careful. So Western Digital. So you do the same kind of here, which we are on 30th of whatever that is, 30th of April. Where are we? Yep, 30th of April would just be, yep, just there. Okay, you just go in there. You could have got in the past as well, but I'm just looking at one of the random dates. And you go in there, you'll be like, okay, when should I sell? So this is probably, and then you could have sold because of the true value of the stock will just be what? 613. Okay, just around 600. So 613 would just be 6. Yeah, just around there. Okay, just there. So you go in there and you get out just there. Okay, just there before it start coming back down beautifully, kind of big time like that. Okay, go in there and get out there. That's okay. So what you do, and you repeat the same process again when the next time comes. Okay, I want to talk about how to put a pending order on this. Okay, let's say you want to get into this stock. Let's talk about how do we get into this stock. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Okay, so let's say this is still your baby stocks. How do you get into it? You use a calculator, you get into it. You want to find the 2 weeks high. So I will choose 573. Okay, you choose 573. Okay, using a calculator. 566. Okay, so what you're gonna do, use a calculator. This is a different topic now, yeah, about how to get into this stock. So let's say I'm going to Western. So I put the same thing here, 536. I normally use within 2 weeks because of the season or what happened. So just make it easier. But if your stomach is good, you can get in straight away. It's fine. Okay, it's absolutely fine. So because eventually it will go higher if the numbers is good, the guidance is good. Okay. So where are we? So the first entry is 383. Let's see if it's realistic. 383. So the first entry is 383 using our calculator. So that's our first entry there. Okay. That's our first entry. Our price is here now. Is saying that this 383, this could be our first entry. That's what it says there. Okay. The next entry after that will just be 337. So that would just be, what is 337? Let's look. 337. Yep, that would just be that. Usually I want to confirm it with the volume. So that if you add some positions just at the top here, I would say it's fine. Around 42, 40 is quite fine. So the next one would just be, yeah, can you see some volume spike here? So it was just almost at my pending order here. So I'm very happy with that. Okay. And then look for the next volume spike would just be there. So that means that I could just enter just right there. So I'm very happy with that. So let me just show you carefully. So can you see a volume spike? Usually volume is where it's more likely going to stop and bounce. All right. So you can see a volume spike here. So that's just where the calculator is and it aligns with my volume. That's fine. Remember, there's no right or you don't have to be so precise. I have to be exactly there. No, because during extreme fear time, even if this pending order don't get triggered, we're gonna force it to get triggered. Okay, we're gonna force the entry. All right. So we're just gonna click it straight away. But we're just doing it just so in case when the stock moves so much and when we get so emotional, we can get the things ball and running. All right. So that's what happens. Showing you how you use a calculator, especially in this situation, just for apprentices, actually, just for reach out all of these beautiful people. So we just got accepted. But anyway, let's come back. Where was I talking about? Let me look at the chat box. Awesome. So yeah, so that is kind of what happened. I was saying. Awesome. So let's come back right now to our topic of our conversation. Awesome. So this is where we are right now. What I am doing right now is, so we have an Nvidia coming in this week. Okay, when is Nvidia, by the way? Is it today? Let me have a look. Nvidia is coming in probably tomorrow and stuff. Nvidia, we have earnings coming in soon, so that is Nvidia. So yeah, so it's gonna determine a lot of what AI is gonna do. Hopefully, it's gonna crash. Hopefully, it's gonna go up before it happen and then gonna come back down. So usually after earnings, Nvidia usually come down. That's what happened usually. But they raise their prices recently on a lot of the AI. So maybe they're gonna raise their guidance big time. But let's see. Let's see. Okay. So that is kind of what happened just then. Yeah, we have an Nvidia going on. Let's go to market screen. Okay, let's go to one by one. What we are looking for just then. So let's go to like calendar. And yeah, so tomorrow is kind of Nvidia day, okay? Kind of afterwards. We go CrowdStrike. Today we don't really have anything. Yesterday we don't really have anything. Yeah, CrowdStrike, Salesforce. This is to do with that. Salesforce is not too cheap. CrowdStrike is okay. These are the software stocks. Nvidia is probably the main one. We have Marvel there. Depends on how Nvidia gonna do. Yeah, that's probably the last earnings everyone was just looking forward to before the market really, really do what it's supposed to do. Yeah, Palo Alto down. That's on Tuesday. Some Cradle on Tuesdays as well. Snowflake Broadcom. So this is what happened. If you have a 10 stocks, 5 stocks, you just look at then when is the next earning and you just mark your calendar or put an arrow on there. So you kind of know, okay, before the next earnings, you kind of feel and see what's gonna happen. Okay. But because Nvidia hasn't moved much at all since the last earning, is exactly the same place. So Nvidia hasn't actually moved much at all. So you'll be like, oh, you haven't moved much. So that's kind of quite fine. Yeah, Nvidia is definitely quite undervalued. Okay, definitely quite undervalued compared to many things. But yeah, that's kind of what happened then. Because Nvidia has actually been, the same price for like 1 year, actually, almost 1 year. So it hasn't been actually moving so much. Yeah, it's quite undervalued, but it's the number one stock right now and the biggest market cap. So owning it is just not gonna, it's not gonna double like that because the stock is already, the biggest stock. Indian Tire. Whoa. Cool. Let's go through these one by one and just really, really gonna confirm if market is bottoming, so market is topping or whatever that is. Let's have a look. So we've got that. We've got so let's just open all of that up. Crypto. Let's look at crypto for a second. Crypto is getting really interesting right now, and a lot of the stocks that we talk about, like your whatever that's BNB, I can't remember the name anymore. Whatever, something to do with cryptos as well. Yeah. So let's see when it's gonna be, when are we gonna sell, when we're gonna buy them, and see what happens. So this is fear and greed, nothing going on there. So this is a crypto. Okay, crypto is on a greed stage now, which is good to see. That means that taking some profits could not be, is actually quite fine. Let me show you. When we are at extreme greed, there will be time where we want to take some profit. So I would say when the crypto reaches like, let me show you. Oh, we are very greedy stage at the moment, actually. Yeah, actually. So look at the last time when we reach around this level, it was September 2025. Type in the chat box, if you have sold on September 2025, would you make money or lose money? Type in the chat box. Would you make money or lose money if you have shorted or if you have sold crypto on September when really, really greedy, when people are 70% kind of greed, okay? Very similar situation. You wouldn't have bought it then, okay? We wouldn't buy here, okay? So people are getting greedy here. So we wouldn't really, really buy it here. So you have short here. So would you make money? Would you lose a lot of money if you sell here? What do you think? What do you think? think I closed one of my oil positions too early. This is the problem when you are getting, you know, crazy. Cool. So let's have a look. What we're gonna do now. We are gonna look at some beautiful things. Okay. My goodness. Oh. Cool. So let's have a look. So let's go crypto right now. So if you have shorted in September last year when we are very greedy, if you come to my course earlier, you probably could have short earlier, sell earlier. But let's have a look. It's just loading at the moment. Let me look. So let me type Bitcoin just here. Let's see what we've got on here and here. So the last time we go in September last year will just be at the top here. Can you see? So you actually sold Bitcoin just at 120. That's insane. That's at the top of the market. All right. Just at 120. Can you see September there? Yeah. Just at 120, the highest Bitcoin has ever been using our powerful strategy. So we are almost at that point now. So what does that mean? That means taking some of your money off the hook is kind of okay. So if you have like, I don't know, 10% of your money on Bitcoin, you're taking like 60% off the hook, 70% off the hook. It's not the worst case situation, especially when you reach like 80, 82, just a resistance line there. That would be quite nice. Let's look at what the season of Bitcoin looks like during this stage. Okay, let's look at if there any stage where when we are at 80, Bitcoin continues to go up, okay? Because we don't want to miss that out. Because actually, if you use Bitcoin without leverage, okay, if you own Bitcoin without any leverage, you can probably continue to own them. But if you own Bitcoin related stocks with leverage, you probably want to get out. But let's have a look just real quick for me. What I'm going to do, because I want to see, because right now we don't have actually a lot of things to buy. So if you still hold your crypto, it might not be the worst situation. But let me have a look. So the last time that we've got crypto was just around 70 here. So I can almost say every single time the market went down here. So what was that? This is just October 7th of 2025, 13th of January, and what? 12th of May. Let me have a look whether it's true. May this year. Let's see. Where's Jan and where is May? January. This is May. Okay, it went all the way to 80 and went down. Jan was here. So it did. Okay, the past 3 times it went down every single time. The grid reaches 70. But let's look at a little bit more. I just want to see if there's any chances where things just gone up like the moon, even though it's 70. So potentially, let me have a look. Well, most of the time it's around 74 actually. Yeah, you can go to 90, 80. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to calculate. But yeah, there are some chances. So taking a little bit off the table is not the worst situation. Let me see how the season look like here. So that just means that if you own any of like, you know, but the Clarity Act might pass, you know, when the Clarity Act pass. So if it's just 10%, if you're owning it, then it's quite fine. Unless you're losing leverage. If I'm using leverage on crypto, like on any other platform, I would definitely sell it if I make profits already. Okay. So let me see. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to the season of crypto. Where is it? When to buy crypto? Let's click on that. So we've got, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We see you can see this is the average of 2023 axis almost every year, actually. Actually, 2011 to 2017. You just see this line, okay? The average of many years, okay? 5 years, 10 years. Usually at the end of August and September, you might see a spike, which is what we are seeing here. Okay, we see a spike there recently, isn't it? before we reaching September. So maybe you can sell it on Monday when we reach September, Friday maybe. Okay, when we reach September. So because you can see usually went up like that at the end here. Okay, usually you went up like that. Usually went up like that. Can you see? Yeah, at the end there. So yeah, before it came back down a little bit more for you to buy a little bit more there. So that's fair. Nothing special. That's fair. Cool. So selling it, your Bitcoin at 82, that means this is not a worse situation. Put a pending order there. If you got like £100, sell like 80% of them. Let 20% flow. Is quite good. Would I add position on Bitcoin now? Absolutely not. I will add it when it's below like 65, no, 60. That would be nice. Which we did actually. The last extreme feels kind of we got there. Where we? The last fear we've got, but it's just that fear was long. That fear was long. Yeah, from here it was we added a little bit June, and then for 3 months it did nothing. Some people added A, B, and B. What is it called again? What's the BNB called? I need to check. There's a stock to do it at Ethereum. Yeah, so it went all the way up there. So that is Vish. Vish is asking me. Let me see what's Vish asking me. Because it's an apprentice, we're gonna see what he's gonna ask. So let's have a look. He's asking, is it worth selling? Selling what? At this level, right? You mentioned 700. Oh, it's a totally different topic. That's fine. Cool. So very well done. I love your questions. Micron. Okay, let's talk about how do we get into Micron for a second. Okay, let's look at the pending orders for Micron. Some people are asking about Micron. Okay, how do you do pending orders for Micron? Okay, let's have a look. So you do the same. You look at the past 2 weeks. I would choose here as the highest actually for Micron 1038. So what you do, you go to Micron, you go in here, you type Micron, and you go in just 1038, and that's it. So first entry 742, second entry 753. So let's have a look. 7-4. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love this. 742. Yeah, that could be your first entry. The first entry is so low anyway. So that could be a very beautiful first entry because I'm taking 103 as the highest point. So that could be the first entry. The second entry is 653. Where's 653? 653. Yeah, just that. So you look at the volume. So if it's beautiful, so they have a volume here. So, okay, that's just in my pending order. So the first order looks nice. And what else? Yeah, there's a lot of there's lots of crazy things going on here. So around this range will be nice. So another order here is just perfect. So these two could be a nice order. Okay, according to what we are seeing here. So that means we come back down, we're gonna execute it. Or what if it continue to goes up like that? It will, but it will, but that's what happened. But if good news, you have Pi 1, that's always making you money every week. Yeah? If it goes up, then that means your Pi 1 is going to make you money. Pi 1, remember, for apprentices. We sell you a 4 beautiful Pi. Awesome. So what I'm going to do now, let me have a look. Regarding utilities, do we hold it? Okay, let's talk about utility stocks. Utilities, okay. Utilities usually do well when the stock crash. They don't usually do so well when the stock doesn't crash. I'm gonna tell you something. You will never lose money on these utility stocks because it's like a ETF and stuff like that. So you almost never gonna lose money on that. Okay, so utility has a season. So when the price S&P 500 is doing well, usually utility is gonna be like but when the S&P 500 is not doing well, utility is gonna shine. So that is just the game here. So if you own it, that's good. So continue to own it. Where would I take my profit for utilities? Because utility is a hedge, I would take my profit just the first one could be here, okay, 19, and the second one is at 200. But if you then I can use the cash to do something else. But if I'm not really in use of the cash, I can go all the way to the top. It will go all the way to the top. Mark my word, it's just taking its time, okay, because our market is not doing nowhere at the moment. Yeah, it will usually go up all the way back to the top. Utility stocks is electricity and all of that, and we AI. we do need a lot of power and electricity. So that's kind of what happened then. Let's go to volume. Is that the volume there spike? It will be nice if there is. So yeah, the volume spiked before just then and it went down. Has that happened before? Yeah, last time was like that as well. It's always faking people like that. Can you see it went up and there's a volume spike again? So it's always doing that. You don't just buy here and it went out like the moon. No, it's always buy up and then come back down like that before it went back to the moon. Always like that. Utilities is a crazy. It's stuck here. It doesn't go up straight away. It got stuck for a long, long time before it went back up. So this is not going to be a rocket. Okay, eventually it's going to go back. Yeah, use it on your eyes. That's fine. No stress. Awesome. Have a look. Gabriel, how are you? It's a big network con on crypto. I don't know. First major trial. So look, BNB, yeah, BMR, yeah, BMNR, yeah, you're right. Thank you. Let's have a look. BitMine, yes, BitMine's been going to the moon recently. The one we recommended some time ago. Can you see? If you don't give up, guys, don't give up. Most people, they don't do well in trading and investing because they decide to give up. Remember, there was a long time BitMine was just red. When we get into BitMine, we're just like, what is going on? Is this a scam? You're like, why is it red? But eventually it go up. Can you see like a rocket? And it went up so fast, you don't even know it went up. Look, in just 1 week, it went up double. You almost 80%, 70% of your money like that. Almost in 3 weeks. So you cannot give up in things like that. Okay, you got in, you're very stressed. The more stressed you are, the more powerful that is. So I want to say congratulations to a lot of you because you really never give up. This is the name of the game. Okay, it's about being patient and really never giving up. Okay, we could have given up on our kids when things are hard. We could have given up on not waking up this morning. We could have not. Giving up is the easiest thing anyone could have ever done. It's a default settings. It doesn't take any effort. A baby, a 3-year-old baby could have given up. Oh, I'm gonna drink. I'm not gonna drink like that. It's easy, but people who really, really succeed, they never give up. Can you see? Eventually BMR, it was red for a very long time. When we got in, eventually went up big time. Okay, so that is actually the journey of the stock market. Okay, so you will have a up and down kind of season. There's a lot of like volume spike going on. Will I trim? Same thing here. When the Bitcoin went to 82, or trimming a little bit is not the end of the world. Okay, it's not the end of the world. Okay, it's not the end of the world. This just really depends on the dollar. Let's see how is the dollar doing. US dollar. Usually they go opposite of the dollar. Let's see. Yeah, so since dollar been going down 28th of July, Bitcoin should probably waken up. So is the dollar going to go back up? They really want to press the dollar. So 28th of July, just here when the dollar has been like not doing nothing, Bitcoin's been like climbing a little bit. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that is kind of what happened then. Let me look at the chat. Would you trade within that range so you buy the support and sell the resistance? Exactly. Utilities, I will not buy and hold forever. Utilities is actually all of your Pi 4 stocks. For apprentices, you have a few Pi, remember? 1, 2, 3, you already know the baby stocks. Number 3 Pi is the Pi that is selling at the historical lowest PE ratio. This is like Meta below 540. This is like Tesla below 300. This is like your Reddit below, I don't know, 140. When everything has a support, it's really good to get in. Celsius holding below anything at the support. Okay, when the guidance is still increased, still improving, still looks good, then we can get in then. What else? This is your Pi 4, okay? So then I'm going to talk about a few stocks as well. Did I forget? Hopefully I do. Okay, so a lot of these like Microsoft, for example, a lot of these, it's the bottom and it went all the way high up. Then it's a trading along the zone. Look at utility stock. If they are always oscillating like that, and the earnings are not increasing like big time, Okay, let's ask our Raven AIs how is the utilities? Do you know the EPS growth of utilities ETF sector as a whole every quarter in the past 8 quarters? Let's see. So if the EPS, if the earnings keep increasing, the price is gonna go up. We just done the experiment just now. But if the earnings is always like sideways, not improving big time, companies are not doubling their utilities companies are not doubling their earnings, so things are not going to double. Okay, so it's gonna stay there. So let's have a look. So you see, it would be nice to know the dates as well. So yeah, in the past, utilities has been like 3, 8, 9. So yeah, it's okay. It's not as huge as like, do the same for technology sector. Do the same for technology sector. Let's look. Let's see. I type like that. Can you see my typing? And Raven AI is gonna read it. It takes half an hour. Cool, he's got it. So 69, can you see it's almost 5 times? So this is why we just trading it to the resistance line. We're gonna call it the day. We take the money out and we put it into somewhere else, technologies. That's gonna make us big time. It's gonna come down big time when the thing's supposed to come down. But the growth is 69. These growth on utility are relatively small, so it's around 13. But it's stable when things happen. Do we have Iron earning release today? Let's have a look. Where's Iron? Yeah, Iron Limited released their earnings today, I think. Let me have a look. Did they? Probably not. Did it? We were just asking some. Oh, didn't. Okay, that's fine. Probably on Friday or Thursday. That's cool. That's cool. Cool. Like Iron, for example, okay, you can buy them at the support. Okay, it's always at the support here, just at 3.3. Okay, just at the support. So you do the same when you do the calculator on. Let's do a calculator. Put the volume on first. So if you ask me, okay, how can I put a calculator on Iron? You choose the highest point, which is here, the candle very long. You do 4.9. So you go to the calculator and you put 490 here. And what happened? 350 and 308. So where's 350? 350 were just here, really beautiful. And 308 will just be, yeah, beautiful. Just these two. And you confirm again with the volume. See if there's any volume spike. If there isn't, you're happy. If there isn't, then you're fine. So these two are fine. Okay, there's some volume spike here. So volume spike more likely gonna bounce. More likely. Okay. More likely gonna bounce. So that is potentially what it's gonna be like. This is also you're not gonna hold it forever because you can see it's always oscillating like that. Okay, oscillating like that. If the earnings are not going crazy, not increasing double, triple like that, this could just be there as well. Very similar to MP material. MP material is also quite similar. Let's talk about Iron Limited, the EPS. Let me just ask Raven AI, our EPS. So give me the past 6 most recent earning guidance of Iron Limited. I want to do the same for another one. Okay, so that is what happened. I also want to talk about a new stock today. Okay, something not to do with AI, but it's a good baby stocks as well. It's not going to be getting it right now, but we will look into that. This is a good one. Okay, actually I've been giving you quite some stocks today, so that's good. But let's look at this guidance as well. So let's have a look. Look. So let's see. So now this company is a bit weird in the sense that it's not really giving us the EPS and revenue. So it's quite difficult to calculate the earnings, the EPS and all of that. But let's have a look. So it used to be 28, million 200 3.4 billion 3.4 billion 3.7 billion. So you see it's not like massive, but it's raised, so it's good. So yeah, you probably expect it to do well by the next earnings. I think they have some next earning here. Yeah, so this is the thing. If Nvidia went up, this is gonna go up. If Nvidia gonna come down tomorrow, this is gonna go down tomorrow. They have a earning release on Friday, so on Friday they might spike up big time. Okay, because their brothers Nebius, yeah, if you remember Nebius, their brothers, very similar competitor, was spiking up 16% on that day. So potentially this could spike up as well if the price drop. So what I'm trying to say here, getting into Iron Limited, adding some position into Iron Limited at the price of, let's see the volume spike here, volume spike. So just a 10 minutes chart, getting into Iron Limited just at the price of like, I think 405 something. Yeah, volume spike there, more likely to bounce. Yeah, so it might come all the way down and then getting in here. So this might be how what it's gonna look like. So it's gonna do like that, and then tomorrow Nvidia is gonna release their earnings. If it is bad, it's gonna go down, or otherwise it's gonna go up. And then they're gonna wait for Friday. Friday is gonna have earnings. It might spike up a little bit to the resistance here. Then you can sell it just at the resistance. Or you look at the earnings, see how much it grows, and then see how much it will do, and you calculate the target like that. So, but this could be a strong resistance just then. All right, let me just write that down because I gave a lot of stock today. So just write it down a little bit. So that is what happened last week. We talked also asking to trim some stocks. Today is 25th of August. Okay. I can't remember what we talked about just now. So just be tricky. You can do like a £10, £20 just to see how things gonna look like on your ISA account. Pending order 405, something like that. And then it went up, you can get in there and stuff like that. Okay, we're just doing it for fun. All of this is gonna go really, really low if according to seasons, but we're just doing it just for fun. Yeah, at this moment in time. What else you were talking about just now? Completely forgot. Yeah, trimming your Bitcoin, things like that. I don't really like to ask people to trim because that's not the way to make money. Okay. The biggest mistake anyone ever make in their entire life is that they cut things too short. So yeah, trimming 50% a little bit, then that's quite okay. But judge how you feel about it. Okay, judge how you feel about it. And what else? If you got it, and then what the next part we talk about just now? We talk about a lot of stock just now, guys. We talk about a lot of stock just now. Utilities okay. Adding a little bit is quite nice. Which one do we talk about? Okay, we put some pending orders on as well. Let's look at Reddit. This is also might come back down again, but look at Reddit, by the way. Let's talk about some story about this Reddit, guys. So Reddit is very similar to Duolingo, all right? So let's look at the past 5 most recent earning guidance of Reddit. And you tell me, when would you sell? When would you buy? So give me the past 6 most recent earning guidance outlook of Reddit. Earning guidance outlook. That's fine. Okay. Let's do some exercise a little bit. Just trying to see when can we buy and when can we sell. So Reddit recently has been accepted into S&P 500. Okay, it's just been accepted recently to S&P 500. And the stock did not go up even after that. So it was just a buy the rumor, sell the news. So let me tell you the story a little bit. So, on Thursday, okay, suddenly rumors comes in as Reddit is going to get into S&P 500. It's not in S&P 500 at the moment. But so it's okay. It's going to get into S&P 500. What happened? So a lot of hedge funds and stuff like that, they buy some crazy software. This is why day trading is so tricky. You cannot really do day trading because a lot of people, big whales, they're gonna buy system to access the information in a nanoseconds faster than you. So they were already bought the stock big time, went up 16% already. In that 1 second, okay, in that 1 second, you are gone, you are finished. So by the time you know about that, you are finished. Unless you're nanosecond, unless you have that software, you're not going to get it. So that means, so this is why day trading is very tricky stuff. So you always have to hold it for at least a few days, a few weeks, so you really make money like that. So that no one, so what happened? It went up big time on Thursday. Friday was like okay. Monday, it says that on Tuesday, it's gonna get into SP. On Tuesday, when it went to SP 500, got allocated to S&P 500 as an index, it went down really beautifully. Okay, and yeah, it's been going down since, and now it's finding the bottom, started to go up a little bit then now. Okay, so what would they call it as a buy the rumors, sell the news, where the hedge fund was buying it big time and they sell it straight away. They're doing day trading, they sell it straight away to a lot of these people who don't have access to the information fast. So nanoseconds, you can't really beat them. So you just have to be waiting for the bottom, put a nice pending order and get in like that. Yeah. But let's look at this real quick on Reddit, just real quick here. So just to let you know, if you hear any news, okay, if you see news, is sold to you by the hedge funds, by the big people. Okay, they already done their position. So by the time you got in, you are actually already late. Okay, so you cannot get into a news thinking to make a quick profit because it's kind of already late. Yeah, kind of already late. Unless it's by Trump. Okay, but even Trump is trying to release what? Even Trump is trying to release his True Social a few seconds early. You remember he sold his True Social £100,000 a year. Some hedge funds going to get access a bit early, so they get the access of the data early. I used to have I have lots of hedge funds friends. This is why when we sit on the table, that's literally what they say. A lot of people ask me about, ask me things like that. We share some strategies and things like that, and all of this beautiful stuff. So I was also used to train some bankers as well. So we kind of know how it works. So I'm just telling you some like insider information that we are not supposed to share. That's how the hedge funds do. To beat the retail trader. They get access, they buy some really expensive stuff to get access to the information a lot quicker. So by the time you get in, you think that it's time for you to buy, and unfortunately, you are too late. Unfortunately, you are actually a little too late. So you can't thinking that you get any news, I'm going to make some quick bucks. Almost every single time you think about you want to make some quick bucks, you always go against you. You can only make some quick bucks if you kind of know it way before. You put a pending order really nicely. So when it happened, you kind of do it really way before. Or unless that news is kind of like a long term, but you always want to pretend it's going to come back down, pull back. Yeah, we talk about it in the training. But anyway, so how can you beat them? Very easy. You beat them by, they're gonna oversold. Because oversold. So you always, whenever it comes out as a news going, unless that news is by the company itself, okay, the earnings of the company really doing well, even if it is like that, it will always come back 50% of its value. Stock went up big time, always come back to 50% of its value. Oversold, people who bought it straight away, who got direct information, they buy it in nanoseconds, they sell in nanoseconds, so they're going to come out and they're going to come back down to 50% then. Okay, a lot of retail traders going to buy it here and then they're going to sell it then. Okay, so 50% there. When people got scared, that's where they get in. Let me show you what stock. Let me see. Today was earning. Let me show you this earning. Who is it? Bank of Montreal, Intuit. Let me show you Intuit. Is it Intuit? Yeah, let me show you Intuit. Today, just right now, if they have earnings, yeah. Okay, they do have earnings. So let me show you. So you go to 1 minute chart, okay? So that's how it's gonna look like. If it is a bad news, yeah. If bad news happen here, usually it's a pullback, okay? People get the news way earlier, or few seconds earlier, nanoseconds earlier, pullback. So this is a Fibonacci line, okay? Fibonacci line, we'll talk about that. And then it went down like that. So let me show you a little bit. Let me show you. So go to 1 minute chart. So that's literally what we say. Can you see? It's like a magic. What we just did is a magic. So this is what people just did it. Okay. I haven't seen it, guys. I haven't seen it. This happened at 9 o'clock. I was talking to you at 9 o'clock. I haven't seen it yet. Oh, Raven, how do you know it already? I haven't seen it yet. Oh, you already saw it? No, I haven't seen it yet. It's 9 o'clock. I was talking to you. I was teaching classes. I haven't seen it yet. But I kind of can see what's going to happen because it happened like that. Because this is why, if you don't know this, you know what it is. This is why people pay so much money for knowledge. Now, what's going to separate between a really powerful people and a non-powerful people is not that I have another eye. It's not that I have another ears. It's really about your skill set. We are all born equal. I said it many times that we are all born equal. We all have two eyes, we have two legs, we have two hands, all of that. But how come some people live life with abundance, with possibility like that? It's just because of the skill set. They know something that some people do not know. So smart people, they invest in their education. So I'm so proud of a lot of you who really, really continuously invest in your education. That's the best thing anyone can have ever done. That's the only thing that separates. It's not anything, it's not how many legs you've got, how many cars you've got, how many shirts you've got. It's not really that. It's just about, your knowledge. Yeah. So as you talk about, few nanoseconds, people go in really, really fast. And then once they fast, there are some people who trade really fast. People go in. And then there's people sell it. They get out and then they're just going to pull back. Okay. Same thing with Reddit, same thing with anything. There's a pullback. It's too, people is going to get a lot faster. So your entry is thinking that, okay, if the earnings is bad, maybe it's going to continue to go down like that. Okay. If the earnings is bad. Okay. But we need to just study the earnings. Yeah. It doesn't really happen. It's not just into it. On Nvidia, it's going to happen like that. On Apple, it's going to happen like that. Yeah. It's a very, 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 very fast-paced, tricky stocks. At that, you might be thinking you can trade here. Okay. You might be thinking you can trade here. But unfortunately, your broker probably not going to let you trade here. Okay. Because the spread is going to get really wide big time. But yeah, as you can see, those people who know they just make a lot of money. Those people who don't know, they just don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. So this is why I'm so proud of you to keep on investing in your knowledge and never stop. That's the only thing that's going to separate someone from living the life that they want. Anyway, so yeah, so you're not allowed to trade here. The only thing you kind of allowed is you study the stocks really carefully and see how is it going to look like. The guidance, if it is bad, then it's a short. If the guidance is good, then it could be a buy opportunity. All right. So that's kind of what happened. Yeah. So that is kind of what happened. You will never be able to get in here. This is not for you. This is for people who pay thousands and millions to get access to the information first. So that's not for you. So this is for people who do like nanoseconds trading, and then once you see that finishes your volume spike like that, this is probably for you. Okay, it's a pullback there, and then this is probably for you pullback. But you can make even more money going up and down by reading the guidance, by reading the earnings, because it's gonna go to the one direction. Okay, so that is what happened. If the guidance is good, it's going to go up. If guidance is not good, it's going to come down like that. Anyway, we're talking about Reddit. Let's come back to Reddit for a second. Can you see? We can talk about one topic for ages. Some people literally say that. Anyway, so let's talk about Reddit. Because our informations are overflow, you will never get enough informations of me. But anyway, so let's come back here. And really, really powerful information. So July 3rd. So if I ask you a question, when would you have sold Reddit? You probably would have sold Reddit on the February. Okay, ask you a question. Where would you have sold Reddit? Look at the numbers here. I'm going to give you a little bit more numbers. This 5 is not enough. Let's get like 8. Let me give you 8. Okay, I'm going to give you most 8 earning guidance. Yeah. Let's have a look here real quick here. Let's have a look and see what's happening. Now, what are we? So, the first question you kind of need to ask is when would you sell a stock? When would you buy a stock, etc.? So if you look at it carefully, you want to buy when things are, used to be bad, and this is good. So you would have got in here. Okay, because this is good. The numbers is good. From 23 to 28 is good. It used to be down. So May 1st, again, you got in there. So let me ask you a question. If you bought in there, where would you sell it? You bought in the May 1st last year, 2025. Where would you have sold it? Type in the chat box for me, please. Because this is one of the most important things you're going to learn in your entire history of trading and investing. We haven't seen the chart yet. We don't know how it looks like. But type in the chat box, when would you have sold this crazy stuff? Okay. When would you have sold it? Oh, Gabriel is very strong. Gabriel is very strong crypto. Okay, there's a lot of strong crypto people here. Very powerful. Like a very strong cult. You know, we are a strong cult, 9 to 5 people. We just want to 9 to 5. I just want 9 to 5. Very strong cult. Very strong cult of Trump. Very strong cult of Hillary. Very beautiful. We love all these people. And they all know something. Really good. So toys make money, Kimbo does make money, Apache. I just say, wow. Nice to see you, Alyssa. Nice to see you, Leo. How have you been? How have you been? Wow. So excited for you, Leo. Okay, let's have a look. Let's see when would have people sold it. Okay. Okay, it's really nice, really nice. People say that you have sold it on February. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. And or we can calculate how much is gonna go. Okay, remember we just learned that strategy. We can actually count how much is gonna go, and we're gonna count it. Okay, we're gonna count it today. I'm gonna show you how to count where is the beautiful things gonna go before it happens. So well done. I love all of your answers. Very good. But we learned the strategy today. We learned a really powerful elite strategy today. Okay, this is what apprentices usually. But I'm going to show you. Okay, let's pretend you were in October 30th. You do exactly what we did just now. Okay, so let's look at the EBITDA. Is a EPS. It's the same. So you do exactly what we did. So 275 is the price. So you calculate how much is the increase. 185 to 275. How do you do it? You use a new number, 275 minus 185 is 90. And what do? 90 divided by 180. 90 divided by 185 times 100. Look. Yep, it's probably around 100%. Okay, is it 100%? Let's do it one more time. Yeah, 275 minus 195 is 80. 80 divided by 185. Sorry, it's around 43%. Okay, it's around 43%. So however much you make on October 30th, you go in there, you're very happy. Once you make 43%, you call it a day. Okay, let me just make sure the number is correct. So I use 275 minus 185 is 90. 90, the old number divided by old number. Yeah. 185. Yeah, just around 40%, 42%, and stuff like that. Margin was increasing a little bit. Okay, let's just do that. So that means I'm gonna ask here, what is the stock price of Reddit on 30th, October 30th? Good. Look, guys. So that means you already enter here. All right. You enter here, you'll be like, okay, I'm very happy. July, okay, I'm very happy. Now, October 30th, you always calculate. You always calculate how much the target is. Is this going to exceed your target? So we're going to calculate. What's the stock price of Reddit on, what's that? 30th of October. Let's have a look. And then we times 40%, okay? So the stock price of this beautiful Reddit, okay, is actually just at, so look, October. It says here, let's look. What is it? It says here, yeah, just around 193. That's fine. Yeah, 193, 194. So what do? You times 40% on that. 193, times 40%. How much is it? That's 140%. How much is it? Okay. So that will be kind of your target. You'll be like, okay, when it reach around that level, I'm gonna be like, call it a day. So let's do it when maybe the number is right. 194. So 1.194 times 1.4. Why 1.4? 1.4 because, yeah, 40%. So I'm just calculate in a very normal, in a very easy way. Okay, 193 times 1.4. Yeah, 270, just around there. Let's have a look. Let me just make sure the numbers is correct. So 193 times around 40. Usually you want to see if it's slowing down. Let's have if it's slowing down. Let's have a look. October here, May here. We do some real example here. So 420, 540. This is 120 increase, 120 increase, 118, 185. Okay, 190 midpoint. 60, 180 margin used to increase by 8, 655, 635. Okay, there are some numbers missing here. I will show you what numbers are missing. There are some like already it depends on active members. Okay, so there are some active members numbers missing here, but we're gonna accept it. Okay, let's start. Can you give me all the numbers of Reddit on for the past 6 most recent earning guidance and outlook margin? Give me all the past 6 numbers. Yeah, give me, yeah, including numbers that investors really like look at. Just like that. Let's see, because there are some numbers that's missing. If I do Reddit myself, let's see what numbers they're giving me. Let's go to Reddit Investor. Doot, 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 doot. So we're gonna click on that. We're gonna go to, yeah, August will be added like that. Earning release, let's see. Transcript, shareholder letter like that. Numbers, recap, posts, they have a lot of numbers here. But let's see. So what numbers are they giving us? They have a lot of different numbers. We repurchase our shares, financial outlook. So they give us a beta numbers and the revenue numbers. Is that it? What about yep, they have like daily users numbers. They have like weekly active unique number, all of that. So let me see. Very impact financial gross margin operating. That is fine. I just want to see what is this by the numbers. Announce the numbers outlook. All right, that's fine. Cool. Let's see what it's gonna say. Yeah, so they have some numbers here. Let me see. Yeah, these are all the numbers. They have like DAU numbers, like how many active users they've got. So if you see 10116121, okay, the growth 19, 21, 31. The growth is slowing down a little bit. Gross margin 90, 90, 91, 90. EBITDA diluted free cash flow next quarter revenue. Next quarter revenue guidance is very weird. There, 655 to 10. Okay, cool. That's fine. Just stick to where we are. So yeah, that's fine. So what we're trying to say is you got in on, let's see, the release of the date was just on, you can do the volume spikes as well, but let's say you got in here May 1st and you calculate each of the earnings. Okay, so let's say you go in October 30th and you calculate how much it's going to grow. So what you do, with the calculator it's around 40%. So you look at the price of October 30th, you times 40%. Let's look at the price of October 30th. So let's go to Reddit. October 30th will just be Let's have a look here. October 30th. Oops. Just October 30th. Yep, which is a bit at the bottom, just right here, around 1718 there. Okay. It's coming back like that. 1718. Can you see it came all the way down here? 18. So you do the same. You use 180 times 1.4, something like that. 252. So you do the same thing. So once it reaches 252, you call it the day. So once it come on here, you will use your calculator. You calculate 30% of that, so that getting in is fine. And or you look at the last volume spike, which is could potentially just be just be around there. You see the volume spike just there. So you remember you get in earning release today and you don't get in straight away. You look at the last volume spike or you look at the calculator. All right, the calculator will just be so you got in there. So you'll be like, okay, my target will just be on 252. Why 252? I use 180, which is the price is released. It came all the way down here. I times that. So once you get to 252, I call it the day. So where's 252? 252 will just be there. And you don't look at it anymore. So 252. Yeah, will just be here, 250. So you'll be like, okay, I own it here. Can you see the arrow here? I bought it. I'm very happy, very happy, very happy, very happy, very happy. So as soon as it touches 252, is it going to touch? Is it going to touch? Is it going to touch? Doing it go to 260, even 26 something, 2626. Doing it just came down like that. So you just call it a day because you finally know how to calculate the true value of a stock. All right. So that's kind of what happened. But over on here, you have a volume spike there. You will be very careful already. Can you see volume spike? We talk about it's a reversal pattern there. When you see a volume spike, you really, if you don't sell, everyone else is selling, basically. If you don't sell, everyone is selling. There's the highest resistance almost there as well. Yeah. So a few, you have your few criteria. We don't just use one, but yeah, showing you some magic here today. By knowing what is the true value of the stock, if you go in at a certain price, and when you can actually, we normally don't talk about it such detail because it's very detailed here. Wow, what's going on? But yeah. Cool. So what's the purpose of me talking about this? The purpose of me talking about this is saying that, another opportunity might be coming in where it might come down a little bit. And yeah, if you do the pending orders on Reddit, you would just use this as the highest 180. Let's have a look. Go to the calculator. Wow, Ansay, that's insane. Yeah, Ansay, that's insane. If you think what I just showed you is insane, just type in the chat box if you think that's actually crazy. If you are happy that what I just showed you here, like no one has told you before, just say, wow, no one in the world could have shown you this. I don't believe. I literally don't believe anyone could have shown you something before things crashes. Before it crashes, big time, like the world has never seen before. I don't believe anyone could have shown you. I will show you one more example. I'll show you one last example so you really take it home. I'll show you another example. Your mind is going to blow. Wow. So I say wow. Sean say wow. Christian say wow. Richard was saying wow. Lottie was saying, Isbran was saying wow. Yeah. I don't believe people pay even 500,000 pounds. They will learn things like that. That's insane. Let me give you another example. If you give me any stock, we're going to do exactly the same thing. So let's do another one. Really any stocks, really. Let's do another one. Give me the past 6 most recent guidance outlook of anything. Okay, really, of anything. Which one? Let's see. What's the stock that everyone owns, but they don't know when to sell? Everyone owns, but they don't really know when to sell. Let me think. We can potentially do Tesla, but Tesla don't really give earning guidance. Okay, they don't really give earning guidance. Okay, I'll give you another one. Where everyone was just doing answering what we're trading. Earning guidance outlook margin of let's give another example. Okay, someone say that. Okay, let's do that. Let's do potentially we could do PayPal. Okay, let's do PayPal. Let's do PayPal. PayPal. We can do anything actually. Probably not PayPal because PayPal is the guidance has just been going down all the time. Okay, let's do more on PayPal. Let's go 12 earning guidance on PayPal. Let's have a look. Because if it's coming down, that means the stock just couldn't go down. So how can you find a target? So let's go to PayPal. You can see the numbers, it's just not going anywhere. So we can't really see the target. 7.8, 8.3, 8.4. And this year it go again, it's still 8.7. So it's just flat. Shit is just flat. So there's no target profit. So you can expect the stock was just gonna be like oscillating like that. Okay. 1 year ago, the price was 8.3. Now 8.7 is literally not improving. Okay. It's not even more than 10%. So you will expect, PayPal to be going flat. Seems like that. So we can't do that. Let's do another one. Because it's gonna be flat. So you can expect the stocks to be flat as well. It's only recently it started to do well in July 28. Okay, it used to be going down like 8.7 to 8.4. Only recently it started to do well to 8.7, and Stripe decided to buy them. So this is supposed to do raise. They've raised guidance from the very first time. This was just declining. It was just really bad. So you expect July 28 to do well, but that's about that. PayPal, let's look. July 28 when the earnings happened. July 28 when was that? But you can see PayPal is just dead for a very long time. July 28 was just there. Okay. But yeah, otherwise it's just been dead. It's just going sideways for a very long time. If I show you more, what I want to do, I want to show you this. I want to do an experiment. I haven't tried yet. I want to do an experiment to show you. You can tell things is gonna happen. So you would, my strategy means you can tell this is gonna happen already. That's what's insane about this. But our AI is not gonna go all the way back to like 5 years. This is how many years? This is 2020, 2021. It's like 5 years. So it's just a bit tricky to go all the way back there. But let's talk about something that's just fall recently. Something that just fall recently. Bless you. So let's I might come back might come back of something that is very similar to this, or we can do, some people say Microsoft. Let's try Microsoft a little bit. Let's try Microsoft. Let's see what numbers they're giving us. Microsoft, they give a lot of different numbers because there are many different segments. We can kind of like try things a little bit. Go to 15 and then suddenly. Oh my God, this is actually really good numbers. Cool. Let's look at Microsoft a little bit to see if they give the numbers really beautifully like that. That is Microsoft. Next quarter revenue growth 80, 80, 70, 73. Yeah, Microsoft is a bit weird because it's a software stocks. So it's just been pinning down a little bit because AI accidentally was taking over on software. But yeah, it's gone back now, 86. So you actually expect the stock to do, do whatever percent better than where they used to be on 80. Yeah, nothing tricky. 68, 67, 73, 74, 79, 80. And if you ask when would you sell, let's have a look. 53, 60, 68, 67. Yeah, that's where things get tricky because this is the first time it dropped. 73, 74, 79. the margin used to be 68, 68, 68. Yeah, you can probably call it the day just around here. It's not really a super high growth stocks because it increased like $1 every quarter. So you expect the stock to be oscillating up and down, kind of like that. But July 25th, you can call it the day because the margin actually dropped from 69 to, margin dropped from 69 to 68. Yeah, margin keep on dropping. We don't really like when margin drop, 68, 67, 66. Revenue was increasing here. Was slowing down 73, 74, 79, 80. Yeah. If I compare now, which is April to April last year, it's around 73 to 86. Yeah, less than 10, less than 20% drop. Not massive, not crazily massive, but it's okay. It's okay. If you own it already, you can continue to own it till the resistance line. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, for kind of like my Microsoft. Okay. So if you are an investor Microsoft, you own a lot of things very happily like that, when would you realistically sell it? Okay. You will probably sell it when, let's talk about when would you, let's look. You will realistically sell it when, let's see, year-over-year flat, margin slightly better. What is this? They're not giving us many numbers. Can me ask one more time? Ask him to give him all the numbers, okay? Because the numbers are all over. Give me all the numbers, please. Okay, let's do it one more time. Let's get all the numbers. Let's see. Let's have a look. Actual result. I want the outlook though. So let's do one more time. Give me, especially outlook. Okay, we want the outlook. Yeah, we want the guidance, guys. We are not looking for anything else. Yeah, we just want the outlook. So I'm training you to learn when to buy stocks and when to sell stocks. Okay, Microsoft is a little weird because it's been pressed by AI. So suddenly, even though your software was doing well, but because AI was so famous, they think that it's going to replace. Eventually, it went back up, but let's have a look. So you will really, really buy Microsoft. If you look at the numbers, you will buy Microsoft when the numbers are, okay, they missed the numbers. It's not just something we saw. I think it's 68 here. What number is that? 67? It was 67 here. On July is 67, October 66. So look, July. Numbers. July 68, 67. Yeah, let's pretend that's 67. Cool. So, and things like that, you'll be like, when would you buy? When would you sell it? So let's have a look. So you will buy when the numbers is great, okay? And out of so many numbers, which numbers do we look at? Which number do we look at? Let's see. This is CC. What is CC? Azura growth. We don't just have Azura. We have many things for Microsoft. So they miss out another part. Yeah, they miss out another part. Yeah. If I do manually, it's gonna be different. Yeah. This is why it's good to learn manually how to do it manually, so you can see how things is different. But if I just use the margin is also a little bit all over the place. You would have bought it here because the numbers go up, went up again. You would have bought it here. You would have bought it on October 24. That a bit tricky. 67 is a bit tricky. 68 and then 67. I think the numbers is a bit wrong as well. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Let's give 8 because it's too much. Give me the most recent earning guidance outlook. I want all the numbers, please. Annie is asking which one. Pi one. Pi one is the one that I will do forever. Yeah. Or when the guidance always increasing, then you can own forever as well. Let's see. Okay, this is 37 revenue EPS. Yeah, there's some numbers kind of missing here. So that's just a little bit tricky here. 66, given another number now. 66, 67, 67. Yeah. So yeah, if you've been using it, so you can see October time, if you've been seeing it, for example, is where the margin really start to drop. Okay, it's from 66 to 67. So that's kind of like when things are not so good. And we have another one actually in July or April. It's not showing. Yeah. So yeah, you could have owned it at the past and you call it the day on October 25th just because the margin actually dropped. Normally, what I would do when things are so many numbers like that, I would just pull out all of the numbers out from whatever that is from the official website and do it myself and plot one by one myself. It's not hard. Once you do it once, you always have that in you. So October time, you probably expect, this is why it's been going sideways because stock is like, October, you will call it the day when the margin really dropped again. Yeah, just in October, it went like that. It's gone like that. Now it's around here. When would I get in again to Microsoft? Yes, I will go into Microsoft again on the volume spike there. Yeah, just around here, 4243. Can you see a volume spike there? There's a volume spike there. Yeah, that would be a really, really nice time to kind of get in just, just then as well. That would be your good thing. So if he comes back all the way kind of down here. This is also quite a actually a lot of Magnificent Seven has been selling at a discount, not very expensive prices. Awesome. So one thing I want to talk about today is stock. Normally we just talk about for apprentices is to do research on. Give me the past 6 most recent earning guidance for Care DX. Okay, this is something that is not really to do with AI, but the guidance has been doing quite nicely here. Okay, the guidance of this has been doing quite nice here. Not the best, but it's been nice. If you can find anything on Market Screener that go up even nicer, that would be really nice. So recently, April, is it April? When is the next earnings? When is the next earning for KTX? So you can see this is what we're talking about. AEHR was very similar to this. You are looking for when the numbers increase big time. Okay? You're looking when the numbers increase big time. That would be a really good time to buy this in April time. Let me just look at when it's the next number. The next earning for that, it can't be November. When is the last earning release of Care DX? Cool. So Christian wants to look at that. Okay, let's look at that. Give me the past 6 most. This guy. Let's see. We're typing it halfway. So we have one in July 30th. So it's just a few weeks ago. So they're supposed to give me that number. But anyway, this is also quite nice because I'm not sure why they give me the number like that. So you can see it went really beautifully in April here. Okay. Very significantly. Usually we're just okay. 29, 29, 35, 30, 43. So it's a really nice time to get in because you see an increase of there like that. So April was really nice. And the last one was just in June. July is supposed to be here. Someone asked me to look at this. Let's look at this. So strong raise, let's have a look. So it's really from 700. So first you want to make sure it's 30% year over year. So Q2 to Q2 here, 720. So let's calculate. 850 minus 720. How much is that? 130, isn't it? 130 divided by 720. How much is that? 18%. It's not our baby stock. It's a beautiful stock. It looks nice. It looks beautiful. But unfortunately, we want the stock to grow 30% year over year. Yeah, as an apprentice for you, Christian. You're doing really well. Now, let's look at coming back to this KDX. I just want to make sure it gave me all the numbers as well. Give me the past 6 most recent, including the July numbers, please. Let's have a look. Let me see what is happening here. Cool. So this is what we're talking about as a baby stock. Look at it, July. And where's July? Last July, August. This is July. So 367 to 490. How much is this? Let me see. 130. Probably not 30%. Is it 30%? Let's look. Q2 to Q2. 490 minus 367 is 123. 123 divided by 367. Yeah, it's around 33%. Okay. So it passed our, our criteria for apprentices. We have a special criteria. And then for EBITDA from 29 to 66, how much is this? Almost times 2, almost 200% increase. So it sounds good, isn't it? So first launch our baby stock. It's become our baby stock. And then what else do you want? We want the numbers to increase big time. So 36, 37, 420, 447, 490. How much is that? Is that 50 million? This is what? 27 million. So it's quite a huge number here. 4545. That's quite nice. And 6643. That's also quite nice. So numbers looks nice. So that means we can buy now, but where would be the target be? Okay, the target will be, let's go to the target. 66 minus 43. We'll talk about target today, remember? 23. 23 divided by 43. 53. So almost 50% increase. So whatever price on July 30th, it will go to 30% increase. So let's look at the stock price right now. KDX. Let's get it. What do I say? What does this stock do? Let's have a look. So what we're gonna do, we'll do KDX here. Hey, we're up another 7% today. It's like a rocket. This one, it looks like a rocket because the numbers is a rocket. Okay, it's a rocket because the numbers is a rocket. For apprentices, we kind of, they already got a strategy on how to find this stock. So what we do, the numbers when they release was, when is it? 30th of July was 3. 3 means 200%, it can go to 6. So we're almost at 6 now. So we're almost at 6. So what does that mean? That means that when it comes back down here, it will be really, really good time to get in. So you will use our calculator in, look at the highest price, which is 5081. Let's go to our calculator. Highest price, 5081. First entry, 3632. So where's 3632? 3632 will just be that. Okay, just when the volume spike, you see a volume spike here. So if you don't use your calculator, you can use a volume spike. It's best to use a calculator. It's really beautiful. Yeah, volume spike just then. So there will be a kind of entry kind of zone there for apprentices. And apprentices, we have really beautiful 10-20 stocks that's gonna, change life big time when the extreme fears happen, which is happening very soon. So very excited. And yeah, you can see it's very small because it's very small stocks. So a very small amount from 180 went to 50, so almost 3 times, just like that. Cool. So that's what happened. Wait for it to come back down. Put the calculator on, and it's coming back down there. So that's what happened. I'll just write it here. Calculator for K. Okay, so doing your ISA one. Okay, doing your ISA one. I would say force entry by end of September could be quite nice as well. Okay, cool. So that is kind of what happened. Usually we go for market screening and look through trades one by one. Anyone found anything that increased big time on your on the news? Let's see. Let's see if there's any bad this crazy news going on. So what we do, companies, you go on the news, and then once you do that, you go to topics, you type equity, and you just go to financial, you go to like decreases, you just see anything is going down, you know. So Intuit, very disappointing. We just done that. Dick, Lululemon, wow. Affirm, there's a few. A lot of Chinese, normally they are not so, you know, related to guidance. But yeah, just 2 or 3. Not a lot compared to last week because it's not really earnings season. JD as well. JD cut their guidance. Let's look at JD. Well, Nephew, Smith and Nephew, the UK stocks or beautiful stocks. Lowy or Lowy, whatever that is. Yeah, not a lot. Yeah. So what you do usually, you go to one by one of all of these. But for apprentices, will give you Raven AI, really powerful. So you can do it straight away. Copy and paste it. It's just going to tell you straight away the whole thing. Yeah, that's it for week. Still sustainable British area. Yeah, just a lot of companies are very good in terms of their guidance. Is not really coming down. You know, unravel back pension, cut the price, nothing going on. JT cut guidance, Standard Life expand UK pension. Yeah, like nothing partnership, nothing going on. We want demand of the stock. Yeah, this looks nice. Awesome. Lowy, let's have a look. Trim their full year sales. How much it dropped? 92. So it's at the lower end compared to previous forecast flat. Companies project comparable sales stock compared with the previous forecast 0 flat to 2% growth. Downgrade. It's not really clear how much they drop. Lowy. This is a potential short actually. 19. Lots of people would have already shorted the apprentices. 19. Lowy. Let's have a look. We just done that. Lower the expectation. We're looking at the numbers. Yeah, this is week 4. Expected 92 at the lower end, just at the lower end, not really outside of the end. Expected 1175, down from a range of 1175 to 1125 compared to its previous range. Or previous range was 12.25. So it's a drop of how many percent? Let's look, 0.5%. 0.5 divided by the old number, 11.25 times 100, 4%. So you expect your stock to go down by 4%. So whatever stock price they were at, it came down 4%. That's kind of your target. It's not going to go to the bottom of the hill. This is a firm. PayPal. Last month, PayPal raised their earnings. About a firm position to slightly beat. This is their thinking that might happen by the analyst. Intuit, what we saw just now, 23. They didn't really say what's the numbers properly. You have to do it manually. Lululemon, let's have a look. Lululemon has to do with Nike and all of that. Dick's Sporting. Wow. Share plunge. Let's see why. Report the earning, cutting their full year guidance. Let's see if we can short this guy. We're dealing with 2 red flags. Not only cut their guidance, more importantly, Foot Locker has done a real flop. Integration of Foot Locker, we were sold. As a result, share. We want to see the numbers. Retail stocks, crazy. Full year say expect between 11 compared to previous 13. So 11 to 13 is 2.5. 2.5 divided by 11, 13.5. I'm just doing a little bit fast so that we can see what's going on. They will drop 18%. So you should expect this stock to drop at least 18%. And it dropped quite huge there. Okay. Dig Sporting. Let's look. Dig Sporting. Dig Sporting. Wow. Yeah, so what's at the bottom there? If it comes back, usually might. If it comes back, then you can expect it to drop 18%. That's what we saw, the difference between the numbers now and the numbers later. Okay, you're gonna drop 18%. Now it's around 30% drop today. So that is kind of what happened. Cool. Nothing crazy to show. A lot of retails doing bad. So if you are very good, you can realize that all of these can be very similar in their performance. A lot of retail are being, it's kind of like a seasonality of retail doing, during this stage. Christmas, they started to do well again. Smith Nephew revenue means guidance cut how much? 4% from 6%. Yeah, a little bit there. Cool, awesome. So that's what happened. As you said, tomorrow is, I think it's about Nvidia to see what numbers is going to be like. If the numbers is lower than the growth that we want, you should have the guidance for Nvidia, and you should kind of know how much of a difference they should be. Let me give you the numbers now, actually. Let's do some magic. I'm going to give you some magic so you can predict what the number is going to be like. Give me the past 5 most recent earning guidance outlook of Nvidia. I'm going to teach you how to predict it. So, let's have a look before we end here. So tomorrow is going to Nvidia, isn't it? So let's have a look. So what we've got on Nvidia, let me calculate for you. So the difference between this and this is 10. The difference between this and this is another 11. The difference between this and this 65 to 78 is 13. And the difference between that and that is how much? 19, maybe? 9, 17, 13 as well, I think. 13. Yeah, 13. So if tomorrow the numbers is not going to be 13 plus this, how much is that? 104, 104, 104. If the numbers tomorrow is better than 104, way better than 104, wow, AI is going to be like, wow, really nice. If the numbers tomorrow is like, is it a new quarter? Q2? Yeah, that's fine. Q2, usually Q1 to Q2 is around 10, 45 to 54. So 104, if it is way lower than 104, wow, the stock is going to be very sad. The whole AI is probably going to come down a little bit. Yeah. So that is kind of what happened. CAPEX 8.3, gross margin. Let's look at the gross margin. They got stuck very long time, 73, 75. If the gross margin jumped down from 75 to 74, wow, it's finished. Yeah, if it jump down. But if it is 75, you'll be like, it's okay. It will still come down though. If it's 75, 76 would be really nice. They raised their prices recently, so maybe we're going to be 76. We never know. So, yeah, that's what happened. No China. If there's China, then that will be good. That is kind of the expectation there. But that's fine. We already know, the next few weeks is going to be coming down. So our apprentices are getting ready. So excited. That's it for today. But anyway, our apprentices are getting ready. Yeah, they kind of know, depending on what stocks to get in, etc. So really excited. As you say, people often ask me, how do we change our life? We just need between 1 to 2 extreme fears of you going all in to change your life big time. You don't need 100 trades. You don't need 100 stocks. You don't need 500 stock. No. In order to get rich, how many times do you get rich? You get rich one time, not 2 times, not 3 times. You get rich one time. So you just need to do well one time. Okay. So awesome. Well done, guys. I will speak to you very soon. Hope you learned something new today. It's a bit complicated for those who are new. But when you get confused, mean you are about to have a breakthrough, and repetition is a master of everything. So we are doubling our price for apprentices as well. So good news is for apprentices, we're gonna do it together to show you together. Apprentices is gonna hear this quite a lot of times already, so you absorb very good, yeah. But no, so who saying thank you? Toy saying thank you. Alvin saying thank you. Lottie saying thank you. Al saying very good. Carlos saying thank you. Ashley. Kimbo saying, oh, it's a good session. Hold on. Really, really good for you. Well, Richard saying thank you as well. Sean. Leo says also excited. Because I'm even more excited for you. Now text me when you're ready so we can get the ball rolling. So we have Dessa. Now I get a calculator. How do we do it? Awesome. A lot of people got it now. Boost run. Let's go boost run. Christian's doing really well. Really nice. RJ, nice. Kim Marvel say it will be 1 trillion company. If it will be 1 trillion, you have to put a calculator on that. Yeah. And what trillion is it now? How many billion is it now? You could times how many more for it to become a trillion. They say you wouldn't know April. Would you come again in April 30th? Awesome. Trump dollar reset. Tell us anything about Trump dollar reset. Told you about the bond. Awesome. Really nice. Yeah, we're gonna send that to you. Harriet Cheese Brown. Awesome, everyone. Hope you guys are doing really, really well. Let's see. Hope you learned something new. Really good to see you guys. Really appreciate you guys big time. There's not much numbers here. It's a pre-companies. From 937 to 400 revenue. Okay. This revenue, wow, almost two times. Looks nice. CFC positive, sustainable. There's a potential. So potential if it comes back to using your calculator. Let's go to boost run. It's a new company, a bit risky. Let's have a look. I'll talk about putting pending orders on SpaceX, isn't it? SpaceX is also a nice one, guys. Pending order on SpaceX at 120 below 110 is even nicer. Yeah. This one will come back a little bit more, down a little bit more, volume spike a little bit more. Okay, let's see what they do. But not bad. Awesome. And let's speak to you guys soon. Well done. Well done. Have a nice evening. Sanjay, how are you? Long time. We have Ajay, we have Shirkil, we have Miki. We have Hans. Awesome.